Loading is powerful to build muscle and connective tissue, but resisting from the foot makes that a fundamentally safe starting exercise. It was found in the 70s that when your knee is over your toes, there's more pressure on it. It's also been found that the better elderly can walk backward, the less chance they have of falling down the stairs, which is almost exclusively a knee over toes activity. So what about if you're like me and going downstairs was really painful? This is a solution to get better at that without the risk. Not only can you get stronger, but you can get incredible circulation by doing this for 5 to 10 minutes. And while muscles get blood supply easier, it gets progressively harder to get blood supply deep into the joint. So this may be really useful for healing. And the journey from here to here can be pain-free. By scaling to your level on a deep split squat, we can get motion and compression, the things needed to signal maximum synovial fluid production, which is the oil that carries nutrients to your joint. And by treating this as a long-term style of exercise, we can fundamentally change your muscular strength, flexibility, and connective tissue in harmony. Connective tissue being the stuff that keeps us together. Muscle moves us, connective tissue holds us together. This is what got me off painkillers for my knees, and making this change is what allowed me to stay off, not have any more surgeries, and be able to play my sport for over 10 years without a setback. Now, exact application. My starting advice on that deep split squat: elevate front foot as much as you need, use assistance as much as you need. A stairwell is near perfect for this. I just made this to sort of create something that in a gym you could have a mobility station, and let your heel elevate. That makes it easier to start getting that range of motion. The goal of my zero program is actually, with nothing, zero equipment, doing this flat ground, hamstring covered calf, back knee doesn't touch the floor, 25 reps, pain-free. That heel up, high repetitions, this allows us to start getting our connective tissue to catch up to muscle tissue. That's not necessarily going to maximally challenge your muscles. It is going to start letting connective tissue catch up. Most of us weren't aware the stuff inside our knee, lots of the different stuff inside our knee has been found. It has growth and strength properties. It can heal, not just muscles. But by the nature of it, connective tissue takes longer to develop and doesn't grow as large as muscle tissue. So it's very interesting that something like this, and then being able to gradually add free weights to it, I would argue something like this is a more valuable long-term exercise for the body than every $5,000 leg machine in the gym. I'm not trying to be mean to leg machines. I'm trying to give you an optimistic point of view of how freaking cool that is, that with literally nothing, we can start making incredible progress. And then lowering the heel means even more flexibility. It gets into the inner thighs more. It develops the glutes more, because once this on each side, once we're getting that, now I like to add in a slant board for loading. And I'll put a montage on screen, because even with the slant board, you can assist, then unassist, then dumbbell load. And now I do it as a loaded barbell exercise. Balance, muscles, connective tissue. Once you get to this stage, it's almost like, whoa, it's like too easy to take care of knees, even for someone super fragile with all kinds of previous shit in the knees. It's pretty cool. But who knows how long that journey, it might be years long journey. What you're learning in this video could be a 2 to 5 year journey for someone. Maybe start feeling better in the first couple weeks, but that's not the intention of this. The intention of this is a long-term system. So that's my first piece of advice, actually, to let the heel up. Once that is pain-free, flat ground, and you can do high repetitions. We're trying to put that motion, compression, healing in our favor. This is almost like in between healing, strengthening. Then I like adding in a slant while working on heel down on the split squat. Keeping the heel down, almost everyone's gonna have to elevate the front foot to some degree, flexibility wise. That doesn't mean you can't add load. Someone stronger but less flexible is probably going to need some load to feel the best stretch. So there's kind of 2 points I see give the best results. One is you in your mind, what amount of front foot elevation, what amount of load feel the best when you're training, and then send your last set through the app. Form coaching, it goes a long way. We have no long-term contract, $49.50 a month to take the time to answer you under 24 hours, 7 days a week, questions, form videos, whatever. Those are the people now out there helping create success stories for others. That gives us the best shot. Seeing your form and you having the right intention. So hopefully I made that application clear that really you need nothing. A stairwell is perfect to progress. You got assistance, you got steps. Eye-opening though when you go into a gym. I'm at the like, oh shit point in my career where it's like I've put so much into trying to figure out the progressions and then come to realize the average person walks into a gym and it's like, where the heck am I gonna do this? So here we are. Thank you for bearing with me during the oh shit phase. And throughout any of that, there is power in floss bands. These pin down the knee on either side so that it's not as painful to go down into a deep bend, and it gives a massage-like effect for a joint that may have just kind of been stuck for a long time. You need to get that shit like lubricated, opened up. You could be getting the best massages in the world, but it's not necessarily going to be massaging right around your joint. So the floss band is like this cheap self-massage around the joint that can smooth any of that. To be clear, that was not part of my journey. I actually didn't find out about the floss bands until I had broken through my various issues. But in working with so many clients in person, I just found that the floss bands were a great tool. There's so much pressure on me. Sometimes I'm going out to see a celebrity. I have freaking like 30 minutes and I have to like create a breakthrough for someone. No joke. Talk about insane pressure. So floss bands, that's why, and mine are sold out right now. Mine, some people don't even like them as much. They're very thick because some of the most famous people in the world, I've had 30 minutes to get, like they need their knee feeling better than it has in years. I have 30 minutes. I go treadmill and then I start working into the split squat, floss, squat, boom, that's given me the best shot. But I make them really thick. I don't actually advise the flossing for like regular use. I think of it as an awesome treatment that you could do to be getting into motion and getting into that connective tissue in an area that hasn't been able to for a long time. So it's worth knowing. I hope you never need it. I hope you break through. You can keep them in your gym bag for, whenever someone does need them and don't need them yourself. Now looking at backward. Most successful is just me finding somewhere that's safe to walk backward. That's pretty dang good. A lot of people have had really good results with that. Your treadmill at the gym, when you go onto it and you don't turn it on, it may have some resistance. I've done this in at least 100 gyms, and over 90% of the time, if you don't turn it on, just the way that they're built, there's some resistance to spin the belt. Not as much as I can crank this thing to. So again, it's interesting that the treadmills at the gym with the electricity on average $3,600 I found. This is $600 and I can get a lot more results out of this, but this takes a little more time to get used to and master. It's harder work. But it's good to know that treadmill at the gym, that's worked for a lot of people. Maybe you're lucky enough that your gym has a sled. This was just trying to get the same feel of dragging a sled backward. So dragging a sled backward is the same concept. Now, sometimes for older people, I've noticed, or people rehabbing, they don't feel as comfortable because they still have to balance their body even if they're dragging a sled. And I've seen people practically like doing this with people who are really in weak state. They're practically getting an upper body workout, just like supporting their body. So this does like really scale, but this is not built for maximum efforts loads. This is built for because if I crank this up enough, it just won't budge. But if I loosen it some, then you can get it going. A sled might have some more applications of like pushing it at super heavy loads. Nothing wrong with pushing a sled. Just do at least as much backward as forward for knee health. The point here is this was designed that you can go 5-10 minutes, never having to turn a sled around. I'm able to get just unbelievable workouts at home with this thing, getting fresh air. I love it. I'm probably destroying it by having it outside. I'm not saying I advise that, but just trying to give you the context of the different methods. It's also worth knowing for someone at a really low level, really worried, but if they have access to a pool, standing in like sort of waiting height, holding onto the side, walking backward, like giving that time of backward in a pool. I have had some people reach out and say, I am walking right now because of putting in the work backward in a pool and then building that to where they can then do it on land. So pool, land, dragging a sled, using your treadmill at the gym, not turned on. Thanks to everyone who has been supporting this. We've started shipping these out. They've been selling out faster than we can get the next one in, so it still says pre-sale. It Might say pre-sale when you're looking at this. It might be in stock, but we're gonna keep making them. We're gonna keep trying to improve them. It's not as user-friendly and easy to use as the treadmill at the gym, but if you give it a shot and you get used to it, it has more strength potential than the treadmill at the gym, which just has a fixed, you're set with whatever you've got. Notice this doesn't let you get momentum, so you have to keep working the whole time. So really powerful healing properties of backward. If you got that point from this video, that loading is different. This is a fundamentally different exercise where you can heal, strengthen cardio at the same time without having to worry about loading. But even once you do get into loading, let's harness the power of that motion and compression at a pain-free level. Build that up. Let the connective tissue start building. These are just, and there's no absolutes, this is just what I found to be a smooth scale. Then when that's feeling really good on either side, now in moderation, but to consider this as a progressive exercise while working on keeping the heel down as this now like full balance of knee, hip, strength, flexibility, connective tissue. And I hope it leaves you with some optimism that even though it may seem like I'm pushing products here, I'm pushing a system that has more total benefits and is way cheaper than the current gym scene. So I hope this stuff helped. Appreciate everyone who is doing these Zero programs and my other programs. This is not what's been done for the last 5 decades since that data of no knees over toes became the majority. Not everyone followed that, but it did become the majority, of what's taught in textbooks. So you've restored my faith in people showing that what I thought would just always be this like super minority fringe system of understanding knees over toes has grown this much. Thank you.